today you're going to find out how much progress can you realistically make in a month without taking any supplements, no protein powders, no creatine, no tracking any macros, and not spending 7 days a week in the gym. A month ago I did a video talking about how I'm going on this journey for a few months to gain my muscle mass back, following a minimalistic approach with only 3 workouts per week, 3 full body workouts with the minimum amount of exercise required for one to build muscle according to science. The goal here was to get an hourglass physique, gain some muscle as well in my upper body as in my lower body, but most importantly gain my strength back after losing most of it due to me being influenced by skinny being back in for the past 2 years or so. After watching this video, you're going to find out that following a relatively low stress approach without obsessing over your gym and your nutrition can go a longer way than you would expect it to. In this case, less is more applies 100%. Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Clementina and I do health, nutrition, fitness content here on YouTube. I graduated with a bachelor's degree in nutrition sciences and a master's degree in food chemistry this year. Today I'm doing an update on a video that I posted. In that video I explained the entire workout program that I was following, only 3 days a week with 3 full body workouts following the progressive overload approach. And in the rest of the week, the main goal was to get to the desired 300 calories that I had put on my Apple Watch per day, but it was not perfect throughout the entire month. In the most of the days I was achieving that goal, but there were days where just things got in the way and I was not able to do that. On the topic of my nutrition, as I already mentioned, I take no protein powders, nor creatine. I don't even eat protein bars that much, so my meals consist mostly of whole foods and I try to follow an 80 to 20 approach, which, if you're not familiar with it, means that around 80% of my meals I try to stay on track, prioritizing protein, whole foods, and 20% of my diet is foods that I would like to have right now. Under this category fall not so nutritious foods, let's say, more sweet snacks. I have a sweet tooth, so this is the one thing that would go into those 20%. Also in this month I was not eating the cleanest since there were some occasions such as my graduation, my parents coming over. I still got some pretty good results, better than I actually expected. To measure the progress, I did a body scan when doing my previous video at the starting point, and I did the second body scan 1 month after that. Another very important thing to mention is that for women, because of the water retention throughout the menstrual cycle, both body scans were taken where water retention should not influence my weight overall. In both cases, I was somewhere in the middle of my cycle, so around ovulation, I suppose, where water retention is not as high as the days leading up to the period. I do not take progress pics just because I still experience very bad issues with bloating. Even on the day that I took the body scan, I was again severely bloated. I'm working on it, it's been getting better, but I still have very much room to improve. It actually got really bad after taking some antibiotics, although I was taking probiotics again with it, but it is not at the place where it should be. The body scan statistics are even more accurate probably, since there are no additional influences such as the clothing that I would be wearing or the lighting in the room on that same moment, etc. I was very anxious about doing the body scan actually, since I was not eating at my best. I could estimate that I was eating probably around 80 to 100 grams of protein per day, even below that on some days, but it was far from what you would see some influencers or generally gym bros and gym girls eating per day. Additionally, my sleep schedule in the first half of the month was very off track. I was having a lot of issues sleeping. This also probably made the bloating even worse, but around the second half of the month it started improving and I started sleeping normally normally around 7.5, 8 hours per night. I suppose that my recovery from the workouts would have been worse than normal because of the lack of sufficient sleep. Enough of me rambling about my schedule, let's get into the body scan results. Huge disclaimer, I'm going to be talking a lot of numbers. Everybody is different, genetic factors, training level, age, etc. all play a huge role in one's progress, in one's weight, etc. Do not compare yourself to me. You are on your own journey, and all the progress that you make does not have to be equivalent to the one that I am making when following this program. The thing that scared me in the first moment were the 2.2 kilograms that I supposedly gained in that 1 month. However, as I started scrolling down through the body scan, I saw that my body fat percentage remains around the same. It even slightly decreased. It used to be 22.7% in the last body scan, and now it was at 22.5%, which is technically an improvement. The BMI, the body mass index, is, in my opinion, not the best thing to evaluate your progress or generally your health status, since the body mass index is calculated with your body weight and your height, and since muscle mass weighs more than fat, for highly trained individuals such as bodybuilders, professional athletes, etc., the BMI might even put them in the overweight category, even though they are very much healthy and have a lot of muscle mass. Since I gained 2.2 kilograms, my BMI also went up logically. Now, on the topic of muscle mass, the most important thing here, my distribution remains overall around the same as it used to be, but I gained 600 grams of muscle mass in 1 month. I am not sure if that also includes the glycogen stores or not. I don't know exactly how the scan works, but 600 grams, this amounts to around 1.3 pounds, is a lot for a woman. Untrained women, according to studies, are expected to gain between 0.5 and 2 pounds of muscle per month. So 1.3 is a very good number, especially considering that I did not have some crazy protein intake. Of course, genetic factors play a role. Also for me, I think muscle memory might also be of importance. Since I have been training for some years now, it's just that I was completely off track in the past 6 months because I was prioritizing cardio workouts. Most of the muscle mass that I gained is in my upper body. Around 400 grams of the total 600 were gained in my arms and in my torso. I suppose this is because my upper body is a lot less trained right now than my lower body. Lower body is being activated even through the cardio workouts that I was doing prior to that, so I did not gain much there. I gained around 100 grams per each leg, but the upper body saw a very rapid improvement, and this is also going to help with my muscle imbalances because I have that typical woman build where you can definitely see that I train mostly legs and upper body is just being done every once in a while, but nothing crazy. My strength also improved greatly. This is why I think nutrition was really the weakest point for me. I have never seen this quick of an improvement in strength as I saw in the last month, because I was eating only according to my hunger cues, so I was not really restricting the amount of calories or meals that I would eat per day, and I saw an improvement in my hip thrust almost to the levels that it was prior to me stopping the proper strength training regime. Same goes for my chest exercises, also my shoulder press. On the situation with the back is a bit different because I still am not able to do a pull-up, and I was able to do like 2, maximum 3 pull-ups before, but I suppose I'm going to get there at the end of the book. Also, my hunger has definitely decreased. I was a lot hungrier prior to me starting this program. I think this relates to the stress that a restrictive regime puts on the individual. I talk a lot about this in my stress and eating habits video. Following a restrictive regime that limits the food groups or the calories can put you in a situation where that stress that you're experiencing leads you to being even hungrier and having much more cravings that you would normally. On the topic of fat mass, I gained 400 grams of fat mass. I guess this is around 1 pound or something, or like something slightly under 1 pound. For me, the most important thing here is that it was less than the muscle mass that I gained. I mean, when you're in a caloric surplus, it's normal that one would also gain some fat mass in the process, and not only muscle. You cannot gain muscle mass really that's isolated. The visceral fat, which is the fat that is worse for your health because it's around the organs and it can lead to higher inflammation, has changed by 100 grams. So nothing crazy, it still falls in the very green category. So now we see where 1 kilo of the 2.2 that I gained overall come from. 600 grams for the muscle mass and 400 grams for the fat mass. The rest is actually water weight. When I went to the water weights portion of the body scan, I saw that it has definitely shoot up compared to the previous month, although I still did the body scan after a rest day, so it was not that now I did a body scan directly after training or something like this. It was under the same conditions that I did the first body scan. However, water weight depends on a variety of factors. It depends on stress levels, amount of sleep, sodium intake. The more sodium that you ingest, the more water you retain. It also is influenced by potassium intake because potassium kind of counteracts sodium. It is contained in a lot of foods such as potatoes, chicken meat, lentils, dairy products, some fruits such as apricots, etc. Also, I think because of the strength training, my glycogen stores are much larger than what they were. For 1 gram of glycogen, between 3 and 4 grams of water are stored. This also leads to me looking a bit puffy, at least in my opinion. This is very subjective. I do not know how other people see me, but I do feel puffier than I used to be. I already explained the measurements were not done at different points in the menstrual cycle, so this should not play a role in the water retention here. This body scan instrument also offers a calculation of your biological age, which apparently is based on all of the measurements that were taken with the body scan. And here my biological age decreased by 1 year, which I was really happy with. I want to get it even lower. I think it is because of the increased muscle mass and the lower fat mass percentage. It might also be due to my higher water weight and better cell hydration. The phase angle of the cell again relates to muscle mass and water retention, so my cells are very well supplied with nutrients, proteins, water, etc. And lastly, the water distribution of my body also appears to be good. This is the comparison of the amounts of extracellular versus intracellular water. To conclude, I am very happy with the results of the body scan, and if you have the ability to do something similar at your gym, I very highly recommend it, because what I would usually do if I had not done the body scan is I would go on the scale after 1 month, weigh myself, and then see the 2.2 kilograms difference, and I would just then get in my head and start thinking about how most of it must be fat or something like this, because again, you see yourself every day in the mirror. You might not be as objective as other people or as such measurements. I think that especially if you have problems with body image or even body dysmorphia, doing a body scan that really shows you the progress in terms of muscle mass that was gained, fat mass, water, etc., can really help with you having a clearer view of what actually happens to your body and really see that you did indeed not gain 2 kilograms of fat. What is next for me? I am going to keep up this regime for the next months for sure, even a month and a half until the end of May, because I did go back home for Easter for around 10 days and my nutrition was not the best during those 10 days and my workouts as well. So to neutralize those 10 days, 2 weeks, whatever of Easter holiday, I'm just going to extend the period leading up to the next body scan by 2 weeks, and that should be fine. So if I do the body scan at the end of May, then you should expect the video somewhere around the beginning of June. And I suppose that if I'm really happy with it, I'm just going to stop bulking, because I don't know how much I'm going to weigh by that point and what I'm going to look like. And I have 2 weddings this summer, not my own, but I'm going to be attending. I would be happy if I looked a bit leaner. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that I managed to convince you that improving your body composition should not be as complicated as some people, especially social media, makes it out to be. You can still have a balanced lifestyle and not spend hours and hours in the gym and measure each nut that you're ingesting and still have some great results. Let me know down in the comments below if you would like me to do a video on a specific topic next time, and do not forget to like the video and subscribe to see the next update. Thank you so much again, and I'll see you next time.